Welcome to Monday, July 29th, 2013. Yet another relationship video, which I hope will help all of you out there who have actually been watching and keeping up. Or for the few of you who give you laughs about life. Whatever it is that it helps you do, I hope it helps you do it. Once again, you'll see down here, I've included an email address. Get a hold of me in case you have any actual questions. Otherwise, you get to listen to my ramblings about whatever it is I feel I want to cover this week. And this week will be covered waiting, settling, and kids. Topics that should, in my personal opinion, should very well be covered, and people should have an understanding about when it comes to relationships. Because obviously, not everybody has the same agreement, the same understandings. So, we'll talk about that. First and foremost, waiting. I have no problem with waiting when it comes to relationships. It's so long as the waiting in the relationship is justified waiting. If the person you want to be with is not in a position for the two of you to be together, say the two of you actually want to be together, and the two of you actually can't be together for a specific reason or whatever, and you're waiting until an opportunity comes up, I get that. But I'm not saying don't be completely celibate, though. I mean, because you're not actually with anybody. You're still single. And just let them know. You say, hey, look, I like you. You like me. We can't be together right now. But if opportunity comes up, let's give it a shot. Go for it. But don't be celibate while you wait, though. Like, that's... Don't sit there and... Because you can end up hating somebody for something like that. You waited... You know, you sat here and you waited for this person and you haven't done anything with anyone because you want to be with them and only them, and, you know, they're actually out still living life and having sex with other people and doing whatever. So then when you find out, you may end up being mad. Like, I can't believe you had sex with somebody else while I've been here waiting. Did nobody tell your dumb ass to wait for them and be celibate? That was your choice. Don't be mad at them for something you chose to do. That is your own fault that you chose to wait and not have sex with anybody else. You can wait and still have sex with somebody else. And you never know. You might find somebody else. While you're waiting for them, you can end up finding somebody else that is better for you than the person you were waiting on. It's just, life is funny like that. So don't wait just to be waiting and spending all this time waiting on one specific person. And, you know, you're passing up God knows what else waiting on one person. That's my thing. And you really shouldn't. You really should. Because you never know what you're missing by waiting for somebody. Wait, but make waiting your backup plan, basically. Like, you're waiting, but you're also doing this. Don't just wait and then be done with it. And like, I'm not doing anything else but waiting. Because that's all your life will become, is nothing but a series of waiting for this person, after this person, after this person. And it gets tiresome. Now, settling is different than waiting, but one can lead to the other. Waiting for a person can lead to settling, because you wait for a person for so long, and if they're still out there having life and doing whatever, they meet somebody else, and then they're not waiting on you anymore because they found somebody that makes them happy. And so now you can't get the person you want, so you settle for someone else. The problem with settling, which I am not a fan of settling. Fuck settling. I will never settle. If I can't get who I want because of whatever reason, or it never works out, I'm not gonna settle. Because settling is retarded. Because settling leads to resentment, and it leads to you being single all over again. Because you start dating somebody, so you settled for them. You couldn't get the person you wanted, so now you're gonna go date. You're gonna settle for somebody that's available. And eventually what happens is you start thinking, what am I doing dating you? Like, why am I dating you? I could have been by myself, but instead I decided to be with you. And why? And you end up hating them because you settled. You end up really, really hating that person because you feel like you're getting so much less than what you could be getting, and you just hate this person now because you settled. But once again, it's not their fault that you settled. Nobody told you to settle for them. Because the reality is, 9 out of 10 times, they don't think they settled for you. they think they're getting what they're not even think. They know they're getting the person that they wanted to be with. But you think you settled for them. I mean, so it's once again, it's a two-sided situation, and the relationship will fall apart. Even more so once one person realizes the other one has settled. If the person you're with starts thinking that you settled for them, they're going to start thinking, well, you settled for me, so I'm not what you really wanted. Why am I not what you really wanted? I thought I am what you want. And it'll just deteriorate everything in the relationship. Straight to shit. Straight to shit. Because you settled. Instead of going after what you want, which is I am a fan of. If you want somebody, if you want something, go for it. Don't just sit there and wait for it to come to you. Take the necessary steps to try to get what it is you want. A person, a place, a job, whatever. Within legal limits. I ain't saying go out and kidnap somebody or end up on an episode of SVU or Criminal Minds or some shit like that. I'm not telling you to do that. Don't get me wrong. No. I don't want to be watching the news and find somebody done got arrested for kidnapping some girl and there's like a video on YouTube made me do it. I ain't trying to hear all that shit. Within legal limits. Do what you got to do to get somebody. If a person that you want to be with is, you know, they only like a certain type of person, there's probably nothing you can do about that because if you're not that type, there's nothing you can do to become that type. I mean, because then that comes down to changing who you are, and in changing who you are, I'm pretty sure I've already covered it. Don't do it. Don't change who you are. But if someone you want to be with lives, say, in another state, okay, then and you want to be with them, do what you got to do to try to be able to be with them. You know, my cousin did that. He found a girl he wanted to be with. She lived in another state. What did he do? Like every other weekend or so, he would drive up there, and then she would come down here. You know, they would take turns making the ability to see each other available. That's what you do. If you want to be with somebody, you put in the work to get them. That's just the reality of it. You talk to them, you're there for them, and then when you have the ability to, you see each other. You know, even if it's only once a year, you still see each other. That's what the important. You're still putting forth the effort to see each other. Don't settle for anything less than what you actually want. And when I say want, I'm not talking about how, you know, because like I've said before, there is no perfect person. When I say what you want, what I'm talking about is the situation. If you believe that a person should be bringing at least half to the table, half of what you have to a table, then don't settle for anything less than that. That's just regardless of, because why would you settle for less than that? If you want the person you're with to bring at least half of what you're bringing to the table, don't settle for 25% of what you're bringing to the table then. Because you're going to still end up being fucking sad. Your life is going to be horrible because you were too stupid not to settle. So don't do it. You know? But everybody has their different standards. Everybody has what they want. But don't settle. Don't back down from what you want. That's just the reality of it. Don't settle. Because settling is...
Even though I told you he hadn't been here in a month.
It's the worst thing you could probably do for your life. Because next thing you know, you'll settle, and you'll wake up one morning, and you'll realize you've spent X amount of years, X amount of months with this person that you have found that you really, really, really don't like.
As I said before,
and it will all fall apart. Everything will fall apart.
I didn't kill
because of that. And you don't want that.
I gave you my DNA.
You don't want that at all.
It should be enough to clear me, shouldn't it? Unless...
and that's pretty much all I got on settling. I mean, just don't fucking settle. Like, don't do it. Just, I can't go over that enough, really. Like, I don't understand people who are settling. And I mean, and there are some who are out there who are getting married to people that they actually don't want to be with because they're not the woman of their dreams or the girl that they want to be with. But yet they're with this person. They're marrying them, or they've spent 16 years with this, with this girl as a girlfriend. You ain't gonna never marry her. You ain't gonna never have a kid by her. But you're keeping her in your life and you're letting her sleep in your house. But you hate the bitch. I don't get that. I really don't understand that at all. But it's whatever, Which brings us to kids. Kids, I cannot stress enough. I have none. Don't get me wrong. I've got nieces, I've got nephews who I love to death. I've watched people fuck up with their kids. I've seen relationships with somebody fuck up someone's relationship with their kid. Your kid comes first. I don't give a damn who the hell you date. You know, unless it's, you know, the person you're dating is the actual mother or father of your kid or whatever. But your kids come first. Fuck everything else. You know, if you have a kid by one person and you end up getting, you know, you break up, divorce or whatever, you start dating somebody else, your kids still come first. And if they have kids, their kids should come first to them. That's just how it is. Your kids come first to you, their kids come first to y'all. You know, and as soon as you get together, the ultimate thing is that if you get together with somebody who has kids and you have kids, eventually your kids and their kids are y'all's kids together, and your kids are equally the same. No, her kid, you know, her or his kids aren't more important than you or her. You know what I'm saying? Nobody's kids are more important than anybody else. Everybody's kids are the same. They're equal, because that shit breeds hatred in kids. Parents don't see it because parents totally forget, if they had siblings, what it was like to be younger and to hate your sibling for whatever reason. When you get older, you let that kind of shit go. But when you're a kid, you learn to hate motherfucking other kids because of that shit. Like, if you start dating somebody and you never see your dad or you never see your mom because of the person they're dating, even more so if your mom or your dad has a kid with somebody else, and then you start seeing even less and less of your dad or your mom, you don't hear from them, you don't see them, yeah, you'll start fucking hate. That kid eventually will grow up and start hating that other sibling. Even though they're their brother and sister, they'll start hating them because why? They'll start thinking dad or mom chose you over me. Kids are important. Do not fuck over your kids for a piece of ass. I don't give a damn how good it is. I don't care how good it looks. I don't give a damn if she can suck a golf ball through a goddamn garden hose. I don't give a damn if he can eat pussy so good he can make you come just by smacking his lips. Fuck him. Your kids are more important than anything else in the world. Everybody should realize this. And if you don't, get a clue. Wake up. Understand some shit. Because years down the line, when whoever it is you're dating right now has either left you or you've broken up with them, or they've passed on order, your kids will still be around. And when you're old and decrepit and you need somebody to take care of you, you're going to really, really wish you've done a better job of being a parent. Because when you call your kid and they tell you, fuck you, I don't want to take care of you, you weren't there for me, why should I be there for you? And you're going to be like ungrateful kids. They're not being ungrateful. You were an ungrateful parent first, way before they were ungrateful kids. So blame yourself, because you got nobody else to be mad at but you. You know, settling, waiting, kids. 3 really, really important situations that I probably should have covered even before now, but they are important because that's just the truth. Every one of them. Don't wait for something if you're not going to attempt to actually get it. Don't settle for anything less than what you really, really want. And kids are important. Ultimately important. Kids are always important. That's the best advice I got for this week. So yes, another short video because those topics are really kind of short and to the point for me. I don't budge on those. So enjoy. I will see you all next week. Peace, love, and hair grease. Be good to each other.